What's up, guys? Just wanted to give y'all another follow-up update on the poor man's sniper rifle. So I took this rifle to the brush beater scout class that I did, and one of the things that we did in that class was a bit of DMR work. I know a number of you have been asking how it shoots out to extended ranges. I've only gotten it out to about 150 or 200 yards so far. Fortunately, in this class, we're shooting out to about 490 yards, so almost 500. For all intents and purposes, you can say it was 500, and was hitting man size, or not man size, but torso size steel plates at 500, 490 yards without issue. So I haven't done any grouping with it at extended ranges because I just haven't had the distance to do it yet. However, I have recently found out about a range facility that's not too far away that actually has a 500-yard rifle range. So I may try to get up there at some point, I don't know when, and see what kind of actual groupings I can get with it. Although, to be quite honest, that's pretty low on my priority scale, and here's why. This isn't a sniper rifle in the modern accepted connotation of the term. It's just meant to be something that allows me to engage targets accurately at much further distances than what the average carbine or rifle could engage. And it does that, and it does it very well. So for me, the fact that at 500 yards I can hit a man in the upper chest, that's what I want out of it. As long as it's hitting the target, I'm good with it. So doing actual little groupings will be lower on the scale. Yes, I'm interested to see what it can do, but purely from a functional standpoint, I already know what it'll do, and that's what I want it to do. That's what I personally want out of it. So we'll see where we go with that. Again, in the class, I use the same thing that I've showed y'all I've used before, the 68 grain Hornady Frontier open tip match. The stuff shoots great. I love it. My son's bolt gun loves it, so drive on with it. One little upgrade that I just made, and I wanted to show this to you guys and bring this to you. It may be something of interest to you. So everything I've been doing with this gun has been to keep it in the realm of affordability, for lack of a better word. It's not a $1,000 gun. As I mentioned in the first videos, the gun, the scope, the mount, when I got it, was about total for everything was like $720. That's not counting the bipod, which I added. But other than that, that was it. So I wanted an affordable gun that gives me extended range accuracy to engage threats further out than what they can realistically usually engage me. Now, up until now, I have had just a standard Palmetto State Armory EPT trigger in this, right? But in the effort of seeing what we can continue to do on the affordability scale, I swapped in, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I swapped in that trigger right there. That is Palmetto State's nickel boron 2-stage trigger assembly. Okay, so it's a 2-stage match trigger and not just the single stage mil spec that the EPT is. Now again, the EPT I love. All the previous shooting, including in the class that I've done, has all been with that EPT trigger, and it works fine. I did not feel the need for this gun to put a trigger in it that cost a third of what the entire gun cost. This hammer and trigger is 70 bucks. Okay? So for those that want a two-stage trigger or feel like they have to have a better trigger than what a plain mil spec or the PSA EPT trigger gives you, I wanted to see what we could get with this one. I'll be honest, guys, 70 bucks is about the absolute top end that I'm personally going to spend on a trigger for a fighting gun. If I am shooting little teeny tiny groups up at Camp Perry in slow fire competition, and I've got a dedicated competition gun, yeah, I might toss in a little bit more money because I'm going to have more money in the whole setup to begin with. This is a fighting gun. I'm intending to engage threats, like I said, at extended ranges. I'm not trying to do little teeny weeny tiny groups. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not the goal with this gun. So I want to see what this trigger will do. Again, reliability has to be the number one thing for me. It's got to go bang every time I pull the trigger. It's got to work when it's a little bit dirty, etc., etc. So I'm going to start putting rounds through it with this. We'll see what it does. I can tell you up front, it's definitely a two-stage. You've got some take-up with like zero pressure. You hit a wall, and then there's a break. I don't have a trigger gauge. I believe a buddy of mine does. So for those that are interested, I will try to get with him and see what the actual trigger weight is on this. But there's the take up and a very clean break. That's actually pretty nice. I would guess it's probably 3.5 pounds, maybe, give or take a half pound. It's between 3.5 and 4. So we'll see. I'll get it out, put some rounds through it. We'll see what it does. If it works, great. If not, we still got the old original EPT trigger we can toss back in there and rock on and be happy. So we'll see where we go with this one. Just wanted to give you guys a little update. The gun still runs great. I don't know what else you can ask for out of a rifle to do what I'm asking this one to do for the money that we've got into it. I said when we were using it in class, I was quite happy with it. Quite happy with it. So if that is of interest to you or fits a role in your defensive setup, there you go. Once again, I will put a link in the description block. Listen to me. Wait a minute. Let's rectify that situation. There we go. Much better. I will put a link in the description box to my blog page. Over on the blog page, I will have links to everything on the gun. So if there's any of it that you would like to get, you can have links directly to it, including a link to the trigger. We'll have a link to the trigger on the blog page. And yes, by using those links, it helps support the channel. If you don't want to use the links and you still want the stuff, just go directly to Palmetto State's website and buy it off there, and then you ain't got to support me if you just don't like the way I look or whatever. I don't care. It's all up to you. It leaves the power in your hands. Let's see, what else? Oh, here it is right here. If I would have just looked, I could have told you. The first stage on this trigger is supposed to be 2 pounds, second stage 2.5, total pull weight 4.5 pounds. It is not adjustable. And that's that. So I would say that 4.5 pounds is probably accurate. It might even be a little under that. Just guesstimating. We'll see. If I can find a trigger gauge, I'll put it on there, like I said. If not, then you'll just have to take my word for it that it feels like a great trigger. Whatever subjectively feels like means. So, as always, guys, take care. Get out there and get trained, because this is of no use to you if you don't know how to properly use it. And even if you think you know how to use it, chances are you probably don't, or you can learn more and learn how to be better. So we can always improve no matter how much we know, no matter how much experience we have. So go get training. And you know favorite places I've got to go train at. So hit them up, check it out. That's enough for now. Catch you guys later.